we were talking about TV shows at the beginning of the show, and you were talking about Severance, and I was asking for kind of like an explanation. Are you down on this?
You watch Severance?
Show?
Yeah. I watched the first season.
Kids TV show.
I enjoy it. It's a good show for people of all ages.
How would you explain it, Robert Eister?
So it's people who go to work at a company where they're two separate people when they're at work versus
so fucking
not
socialism, huh? Is that what you're saying? Socialism?
And only one of them gets paid.
Yeah, only one gets, and they don't really know what they do.
So it's more like an examination of the work self and the
It's
non-work
taking the
self.
work-life balance to the extreme.
Yeah, like you're just completely separated from your work and life.
So they said they do like a surgery on your brain, nice and healthy, what you want for an onboarding process with an HR rep.
Oh, nice.
You know, they do some surgery on your brain, some light surgery.
Well, what if your work is banging 1,000 guys? How does that work?
You're probably gonna need surgery at some point as well.
Some sort of husband stitch.
Husband stitch. Come on, Doc, help me out.
Bring in a doctor mid fucking orgy.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like the surgery is like location based. So the way it works for these characters, you get in the work elevator, and then once it opens up to your working floor, your at home self is shut off and your at work self takes over.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to be bothered with the work self. And then your work self just is a slave to corporations.
I can see that. I do see some themes of not necessarily socialism and kind of Marxism, but maybe. I mean, there's always a thing about alienation of the worker and all that shit. And it seems like this might have an element to it, but it's more an examination of like, maybe even the innate self and the fucking social self. I don't know, but it's like you do have these two different personas, right? Most of the time when you're working or when you're just jacking off or gooning with your meat milker.
Well, you don't want to think about work when you goon.
Yeah.
Unless you goon at work.
Just depends where you work.
So this is a pop-up they did to promote season 2 of the show.
I thought that was pretty cool.
A big cubicle at Grand Central Station where all the characters go about their work lives and don't acknowledge people.
Now, were people uncomfortable by the gooning worker?
It's New York. Everyone's seen someone goon. Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, that's just work me. I don't know anything about that. Dude, you know how fucked up it would be if you're in a relationship, a committed relationship in your home life, and then you start fucking around at work and you catch a disease and bring it back home, and you're like, I honestly have no idea what happened.
This dude has been famous for so long, dude.
He's starting to look creepy, dude. His aging is starting to make him look like a fucking wax figure.
He's probably had some Botox. I mean, there's some pressure. What do you think? Has he had Botox?
I think he's got some work done, yeah.
Look at his fucking nose, dude.
Look at that, yeah.
I think it's the long hair that makes him look Kyle MacLachlan-like.
Those are fake cheeks, too, I think.
Those are implants?
Yeah, those are cheek implants.
I'm talking about his ass?
He took him from his ass and put it in his face. That's what they did.
That's how it's so smooth.
Yeah. That's some good ass skin right there.
But yeah, the first episode is really good because it opens up with this lady here waking up on a conference room table and she's all confused.
Oh, really?
And that's how the show starts. And his voice talks to her over the intercom. Is like, hey, this is blah, blah, blah. Can you hear me? Can you all that? And so try to walk this person through the process of their existence starting in a conference room.
So she wakes up confused in a conference room, and the 1024th guy is just leaving, leaving the conference room, and is like, oh man, rubbing his crotch.
Yep.
You ever walked out of a room where you just had sex and people look at your package and they're like, you just had sex?
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, that's the worst, dude.
I know, especially at work, right?
Yeah.
Such an uncomfortable moment.